Tell me about that connection. What kind of technical challenges do you have over there?
So in the rural city, we don't have the best of bandwidth. So when it's cloudy, the internet is super slow.
It's guerrilla filmmaking. Okay, I'm going to dive into it in case we lose connection. And I thank you very much for seeing me again. It's good to see you.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Tell me about some of the documentary work that you are proud of.
So back in 2012, I wrote, produced, and edited a film. The first and only doc is The Rise and Fall of Wonderland. Also, another work that I'm super proud of is 25 years of South African hip-hop. Also part of the team that produced.
Represent, but still, it's still hip-hop.
So those are the two works that I'm super proud of.
And tell me about childhood. Just describe some of your first memories of the area you grew up in.
Witbank is the coal hub of Africa. You know, we have a lot of coal deposits here. So the landscape here has always been industrial. And back then, the Africans in particular were not allowed to live in the towns. We moved to, there's a town called Middleburg. When we lived there, this would be between 1986 and 1991. We, the Africans, didn't have much electricity or power, low wages, you know. Growing up at home, we never had a TV. You find that in the neighborhood, there was only one house that had a television. We didn't have electricity. These families now, we use the batteries. So in turn, they would charge us for watching TV. We would pay between 5 cents to 10 cents. The Apartheid government never really wanted TV in South Africa, you know. They were scared that TV would influence an uprising, if I could put it that way. So in South Africa, we got TV very late. If I remember, I think we got it 1976. The writers would get contracts and they would work for the SABC. But the writers would never really have the freedom. You know, they wouldn't do screenplays, they would just be writers. And then the white directors would come in, take them. So the sound guys, the directors, everyone was behind in white, but in front it would be Africans, you know. But the creatives, because they don't know the lifestyle and they don't live the experiences, they can't really tell or understand, you know. So I never really liked the show growing up. You know, I could never really relate to them. So the things that we really used to love back then were the ads, and they were done very, very well. Production value, they had better music, you know, they had better acting. They were much better than the actual productions that we watched.
Look.
Pump up your performance with Sasol's Super 100.
Even though it was not culturally appropriate to blacks, but the advertisers, they were the first people to say, hey, for us to sell, let us get the majority.
And tell me about how you got into the entertainment industry and then your disillusionment.
So in South Africa in the early 90s, you had the optimism, you know, we are beyond apartheid. And I went and I studied there. The following year, the executives that were there, they wanted to give me a chance. The stories were very authentic South African stories, you know, South African indigenous foods, you know, to South African oral history.
Inaga, sibuye simbati puriane, echalingo beteko, yamapataka.
And then from there, I wanted to try my luck in TV, but there was a shift.
Not one person here is weak. Yeah.
Being rich and famous is not easy.
Keep your hands off her titties.
It just went 0 to 100 real quick.
Touch your mouth.
We're in the thick of the war. Bye, bitch.
Have a nice day.
Shoot me right now.
The powers that be felt like the story, needed to shift, from a good, beautiful, well-crafted story to shock television. It was really, really not what I wanted to do. I feel like this new wave of media is very disposable. You watch it, even when it's supposed to educate you, you hardly remember what you were told after.
What opportunities would you like to see for your kids if they got into media?
I don't necessarily think I want them to go into media. I don't think it is what it's supposed to be.
Who, if anyone, who in the South African media space is making content you believe in?
I don't know if I told you this. So as South Africans, particularly Black South Africans, it fills us with pride when someone goes outside. For instance, we are very proud when Trevor went overseas.
Thank you so much.
We are very proud when a local DJ, like Coffee goes, There's a painter called Nelson Makamo who's also doing great things. So the list is long, even going as far as Black Mambazo, Miriam Makeba, it fills us with pride. If I were to speak on my behalf, it inspires me to a certain extent. My last word is to say there's a lot of stories here on the continent. There's stories, so many untold stories here, not only in South Africa. So there's amazing stories across the continent.